Now I gotta ride or die.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alex Eubank. Today I'm going to be going over with you the 5 top big myths of bodybuilding and muscle building. If you're new here, my name is Alex Eubank. I am a teen bodybuilder. I like to work out a lot. I post a lot of workout videos, tutorials, and kind of tips just to help people out and on their fitness journey. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe and like this video, and I appreciate it. So let's get into it. So the first myth that I have, which is really big, is building muscle and losing fat. A lot of like fitness ads always say that like, oh yeah, you can lose fat, build muscle at the same time, do it in 8 weeks, you know, stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, you really can't, unless you're like a beginner, which I'm gonna explain. So when you first start working out, you go through these things called newbie gains. It's like your first 2 years of lifting, naturally you have like your biggest physical changes, and then after that it slows down and it's a lot harder to see some changes. So like when you're first starting working out, if you're in a caloric deficit, you could still kind of put on muscle, but once you get past that stage, in order to put on mass and muscle, you have to be in a surplus, meaning we all have a daily expenditure of calories, which is like energy. So for someone around my size, mine's around like 3,000 calories a day, right? So if I eat over 3,000 calories, then I'm gonna be in a position where my body can use that extra energy to put towards building muscle. And if I'm in a deficit under that, my body's gonna go to my fat stores, and sometimes muscle if you go too much of a deficit to take away to make up for that energy loss, and that's how you lose fat. So the big myth is you have to pick one, so don't think you can do one at a time. Best thing to do is start lean and then bulk up from there so that you can get a lot of mass, and then try to do it clean so that you don't gain too much fat, and then when you start cutting, then you can show that muscle that you put on. To pick one at a time, it's hard to kind of choose, because when you're bulking, you're like, damn, I wish I was leaner. And then when you're lean, you're like leaning out, you're like, damn, I'm skinny, I wish I had more muscle. But you gotta just be consistent, stick to it. Second myth of bodybuilding is staying away from sugar. A lot of people act like sugar is very bad for you, and it's actually one of the most crucial components to building muscle. What? And here's why. Basically, after a workout, for example, when you work out and you use energy, you're using a source called glucose. That's what our cells use as energy when we're working out, right? And it's but like sugar is converted into glucose. I'm just gonna dumb it down basically. So after a workout, you use all that energy up in your muscle storages, which hold this like glycogen and this glucose, right? So when your muscles are depleted of that after a workout, if you have a high sugar source that's really high in sugar and is able to a low glycemic index, which is a scale, if the lower the number, the higher it will raise your insulin levels, the faster. So like something like I like to do honey a lot because it's kind of in the middle and it's a little healthier for you. I'll have a tablespoon of honey right after a workout, and then about 10 minutes after that, then I'll drink my protein shake. The reason for this is that it spikes your insulin levels and it starts rushing this like glucose right in your muscle, because your muscle has no glucose and it needs it so bad. So then you take your protein with that and it'll shove all those amino acids with it in your muscle. That's basically like the simple version of how it works. Carbs, sugars, they're not a bad thing. Just don't go overdose, you know, with it. Don't be, you know, eating cupcakes and eating 12 donuts a day and shit and expecting to be lean and getting big. Third myth is training frequency. So like, it's not really a myth, but it's more like people, when they start working out, they're like, damn, I'm gonna get big, I'm gonna do the bro split, you know, I'm gonna do chest today, tomorrow I'm gonna do back, then I'm gonna do arms, then I'm gonna do shoulders, then maybe if I have time I'll do legs. Like that's not how it works. That's what I did in the beginning, all right? Because I was like, I just want to get a big upper body, I want to look swole. And then I realized like, naturally, you have to be working out each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week to have the most optimum growth. So recently, the past literally 4 months, I've been going to a push-pull split, push-pull leg split. So I do push, which is like chest, shoulders, tris. The next day I'll do pull, which is like back and biceps, and the next day I'll do legs, and then I repeat it. My dog's in my room. But yeah, so if you're just hitting that bro split at one muscle group a week, you're not getting the optimum benefits, because when you think about it, your body's repairing that muscle tissue only, let's say, like 4 times a month, right? When if you're doing it 2 to 3 times a week, you're getting up to 8 to you know, you have so much more opportunity and chances where more and more muscle fibers are being repaired. So if you're a natural lifter, frequency is key. Also with that, all your muscle groups still need the same amount of training. Chest, back, legs, those are the big groups. Those are the ones that needs a lot more frequency, 16 to 20 sets that I would say. Then biceps, triceps, shoulders, around 10 when you work them out. Fourth myth, lifting heavy. You do not have to lift heavy. You don't have to be strong to be big. I am actually one of the weakest people when it comes to like lifting. People think I'm so much stronger than I am. My bench, for example, I can do 225 for like 5 or 6 reps on a good day. I really do even do flat bench. Okay, squat. My squat's like 1 rep, 315, well 325 now. Deadlift, I rarely even deadlift. Okay, it's like I'm not that strong of a person, but I think I have a pretty good physique, right? And I'm not strong. Focus on hypertrophy. If your main goal is to get aesthetic and build muscle tissue, hypertrophy. Stay in that 8 to 12 rep range. Do drop sets, do supersets, do slow negatives, time under tension. There's so many different techniques. I'll go over another video to maximize muscle hypertrophy. Focus on that. Fifth tip, creatine. Creatine is the most studied thing in like the fitness industry, right? It gets such a bad rap. Everyone's like, oh, it's gonna make your kidneys fail. It's so bad for you. It is so beneficial to you, especially if you were a natural lifter. What it does, it's got water holding properties. There's a word for it, I just can't think of it right now. Basically, it draws water to your muscle cells inside the muscle, which is where it should be. So with that, it can bring protein, amino acids, nutrients to it, as well as the main reason for creatine is that it increases your ATP stores in your muscle cells, allowing you to have a higher power output, allowing you to get that extra rep, allowing you to add 5-10 pounds extra to the lifts that you're doing. Therefore, you're recruiting more muscle fibers through mechanical tension. As you're more muscle fibers, more weight, mechanical tension, up, hypertrophy. That's how it works. So basically, yeah, that's 5 myths right there. You can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. You don't have to stay away from sugar. Training frequency 2 to 3 times per week. You do not have to lift heavy at all. Honestly, it's not that important. Really, it is. The biggest thing a lot of bodybuilders will tell you, especially successful ones, that as long as you know the muscle that you're lifting, you have a good mind to muscle connection. That is the most important aspect of building muscle. Last thing is creatine is one of the best supplements you can take as a natural lifter, and it's not gonna mess your kidneys up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys learned anything from it, please comment, like it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow this out. Now that I finished my classes, I can start making a lot more content and trying to really grind this stuff out and start making real videos that are good quality. So please stay along for the journey. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.